Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of JPNN. We got to keep this under 20 seconds for that one commenter. Today's news, I haven't looked at any of it. We're going in completely blind. I have no idea what's happening today, but let's find out together. I just realized we didn't get that background music, but hey, that's because I'm sick, and that's what happens. Okay? That's what happens when you're sick. There we go. Little background noise. All right, let's get started. As spotted by Axios' Stephen Totillo, on Friday, April 15th, Activision updated its Securities and Exchange Commission filing about the planned sale to Microsoft, adding a line stressing that if Microsoft and Bobby Kotick haven't discussed nor negotiated his post-merger employment status. Sorry, there's no if there. It's just a statement that they haven't discussed it. The line that was added, word for word, is, quote, no discussions or negotiations regarding post-closing employment arrangements with Microsoft occurred between Microsoft and Mr. Kotick prior to the approval and execution of the merger agreement and the transactions contemplated thereby, or have occurred subsequent to such approval and execution through the date hereof. It's a bunch of legal speak for saying we ain't talked. This is also a big reminder that in 8 days, the vote for the shareholders will be occurring. I got to think that the conversation has to have happened. Maybe not in an official manner, but they've definitely had a conversation. I'd be very surprised if that conversation has not occurred. That's very surprising for me to hear. Yeah. I get that maybe it hasn't occurred officially, but it's definitely, these people talk. They have conversations. They meet over drinks, etc. It's definitely occurred. We'll see what happens, though, on that shareholder vote on the 28th. Circling back over to the old Blizzard, the president, Mike Ibarra, has denied suggestions that the company has plans for NFTs after Twitter users posted about a Blizzard survey gauging their interest in NFTs. Ibarra said, quote, no one is doing NFTs, in a response to the tweet from Video Game Chronicles' Andy Robinson about the survey, which was conducted by YouGov. The survey itself was discussed on Twitter by Blizzard players, as spotted by GameRap, with one player including a screen cap of a question asking respondents to indicate their interest in a number of topics, including play-to-earning gaming and NFT as two separate topics. I'm not surprised. Everyone's going to be polling for this type of stuff, trying to gauge interest, see if they're going to get absolutely destroyed on the internet. Spoilers, they will, for including anything NFT related. It's whatever. Every company's going to try to do it and see if it's worth it. Do a cost analysis to see if they can somehow fit it in. It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. Unfortunately, but I'm not surprised to see the polling there. Longtime Ubisoft developer Patrick Pluard announced that he would be leaving the company to create an independent creative consultancy. Pluard departs the gaming firm after 19 years. GameIndustry.biz had the interview with him, and he said, quote, now I'm happy to share that I'm starting my own independent creative consultancy where I will keep working with Ubisoft and also spend time on some personal projects, he said in the post. Okay, get that money. I understand it. A couple months ago, we reported that there was a dispute between Microsoft and the Halo composer, Marty O'Donnell, for some unpaid royalties. Yesterday, the two Halo composers, O'Donnell and Salvatore, announced that Microsoft and O'Donnell/Salvatore Inc. are pleased to have amicably resolved their differences regarding alleged unpaid royalties. Marty O'Donnell tweeted that along with the announcement. Looks like I'll be able to share some of those videos once again. You got that money. I guess, probably should pay the man. Funny enough, I wonder if that contract, because I don't think the Halo theme is in the TV show whatsoever. So I guess maybe it didn't allow for that. I wonder if that was part of the thing. Who knows? Who knows? This is one of the bigger stories of the week. A unnamed worker is alleging that Nintendo, and a firm it uses for hiring contractors, has violated their legally protected right to unionize, according to a new filing with the National Labor Relations Board. The allegations state that Nintendo of America and global hiring firm Aston Carter engaged in, quote, concerted activities and made, quote, coercive actions against a worker, interfering with their legally protected right to organize. The exact claims of what happened are unclear, but the publicly posted docket for the complaint lists broad charges, but doesn't describe what is said to have occurred. But it does indicate the allegations were likely to include claims of surveillance, threats, retaliation, and either a layoff or refusal to hire. Nintendo of America, which is based out of Redmond, Washington, is a division of the Kyoto-based gaming giant, and the NLRB complaint was filed in Washington State. While Nintendo has, at least publicly, largely avoided any of the scandals rocking the industry these past couple of months, the NLRB, well, really years, the NLRB complaint could change that. We'll see. It's everywhere. I will also state that Japanese game developers are some of the most overworked game developers in the industry. It's just not talked about, or really, it's not a big thing over there to come out and discuss that. Moving forward, the labor union of South Korea game developer Webzen will go on strike on May 2nd after 72% voted in favor of the action. The strike aims to solve the opaque salary negotiation system and address unequal pay increases that skew towards the executives. Good stuff. KoreaHerald.com has that full news story, with our grab coming from the Twitter account ZHugeEX. The Pokémon Company has entered into an agreement to acquire card manufacturing company Millennium Print Group for an undisclosed sum. Under the acquisition, the Pokémon Company aims to to develop the firm's infrastructure and scale to become, quote, a premier printer of trading cards. The talented team at Millennium, this is a quote from them, at Millennium Print Group has been an important partner to the Pokémon Company International for many years, helping us bring the Pokemon trading card game to our fans with the quality they expect. That was from Kenji Okubo, who is the president of the Pokemon Company International. He continues, by joining forces in a more meaningful way, our goal is to enhance the ways our organization work together and continue. Is this a fucking NFT thing? Enhance the ways our organizations work together and continue to bring the highest quality Pokemon TCG products to market. Simultaneously, we aim to develop Millennium into an even better, bigger, state-of-the-art version of their already exceptional organization, benefiting not just Pokemon, but all of their customers. That's it. I mean, might be an NFT thing. You never know. You never know. We'll see. Last week, we reported that Sega and its new, quote, super game concept, an initiative. Yesterday, Bloomberg reported that Sega is developing big budget reboots of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, both part of Sega's super game initiative. Crazy Taxi is reportedly a year in development, with its release still a few years away, and there are two further unnamed games, one of them an FPS, under the same umbrella. Sega sees Super Game as a label, not a single project, being worked on as well. Both titles are in an early stage of development and could still be canceled. Bloomberg.com and Kotaku have that if you're looking for a non-paywalled report on it. I'd play New Crazy Taxi. However, was Crazy Taxi good because it was a good game or because of the soundtrack? It's tough to say. The soundtrack for that game was incredible. The Offspring, insanely good. Insanely good. For the first time ever, other than Sifu being moved forward a couple days before its initial release date, I wouldn't say first time ever. I would say for the first time in a long time, a game has its date not delayed, but moved forward. We watched it yesterday in trailer time. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which was originally slated for a September, not September, 2022 release, has been moved to July 29th. Good. Great. It'll probably do pretty well in July because there's no other games coming out for the next 3 months. What else do we have out here? Rockstar has edited transphobic elements in the GTA 5 re-release. A Twitter thread from Christy Cloud, who's an admin of GTA Net, a Grand Theft Auto community site, reported on the changes made. Cloud also said that the harmful dialogue directed to characters from the protagonist have been removed. They also note that the changes could have been made following the plea from the UK-based LGBTQ+ game professional group Outmaking Games. Those changes have been verified by Outmaking Games themselves. Quote, last year we wrote an open letter to Rockstar calling on them to remove transphobic content from GTA 5's next-gen release, the body said in a tweet. We're thrilled to say that they have. Thank you to everyone at Rockstar who prioritized the issue. Great. Good stuff. Rimworld has been officially reclassified after being banned in Australia. It has now been unbanned, and it's classified as R18 plus restricted. Enjoy, Australia. Oh God, I heard about this. Famitsu had an interview with Kingdom Hearts series director Tetsuya Nomura. In the interview, he shared his thoughts on the 20th anniversary and discussed the newly announced Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link. Here are some different snippets from said interview. It's been 3 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 released. Nomura responds, that's right, but during those 3 years, we've wrapped up Kingdom Hearts Union X and released Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Melody of Memory, and cloud versions on Nintendo Switch. So time seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. The interviewer asked, there were a lot of valuable materials exhibited at the venue. You had a message posted on Sora's statue, but there was a letter X on the third line from the bottom. What does it mean? Nomura says, it contains a hidden message, and the X is a clue. I've seen people discussing it on social media, but no one seems to have arrived at the answer yet. Fans solved the hidden message, according to my editor, less than 24 hours after the interview. The answer is Sigurd, and they will be the narrator in Kingdom Hearts Missing Key, and they are a Kingdom Hearts Union Cross character. The interviewer asked, what kind of world is Quadratum? And Melody of Memory, it was described as the other side of our world. Is this a new world that does not belong in the realm of light, realm of darkness, or realm between? Nomura's response, that's one interpretation. You know, head over to the KingdomHeartsInsider.com for the full interview, and it's also been translated for you if you really, want to dive in. Insane. Yesterday, Skydance New Media announced a collaboration with Lucasfilm Games to develop and produce a narrative-driven action-adventure game featuring an original story in the Star Wars galaxy. This is like what the... Oh, okay, good job, editor. We'll get to how many games are being made right now in the Star Wars universe. Helming the game is the award-winning writer and director Amy Hennig. an industry legend who's credited for series like Legacy of Kain, Jack and Dexter, and Uncharted. Hennig gave a quote and said, Hennig gave a quote and said, I've often described how seeing Star Wars in 1977 essentially rewired my 12-year-old brain, shaping my creative life and future indelibly. I'm elated to be working with Lucasfilm Games again to tell interactive stories in this galaxy that I love. Douglas Riley, the vice president of Lucasfilm Games, says, we couldn't be more thrilled to be working again with Amy. She and the Skydance New Media team have the talent and ambition to create a unique Star Wars adventure. Their vision for making narrative-driven and engaging interactive entertainment makes this collaboration very exciting. We're working hard with their team of experienced and talented developers, and we're looking forward to sharing more with Star Wars fans when the time is right. Here's a recap, by the way, of all the different Star Wars AAA games currently in development that have been announced. We have the Jedi Fallen Order sequel from Respawn, the Star Wars FPS from Respawn, Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream, the action-adventure game that was just announced from Skydance New Media with Amy Hennig at the helm, the story-driven open-world game from Ubisoft Massive, and the Coda remake. In about 3 to 4 years, Star Wars fans are going to be eating good. We're going to be enjoying it. It's going to be a good time. Digimon Survive, which was first announced back in July 2018, and has been through changes and development hell since, has finally got a release date, at least in Japan. The game's set to release July 29th worldwide for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam. So wait, is this... I'm confused by the writing here. I'm going to open up this video. Is it a worldwide... or is it just Japan? I think it might be just... oh, it's worldwide. Okay. Sorry, there's leftover text there. That's what happens when you don't read it before. CD Projekt Red, my voice is going, is not planning to release its single-player Gwent spinoff Project Golden. It's Project Golden. I'm not going to try to read that in my sick state. On consoles, game director Vladimir Tortsov said in the latest This Week in Gwent, a weekly stream hosted by Gwent comms lead Powell Berza, that there are currently no plans to bring this new game to consoles. He did confirm to IGN that the game will be available at launch on PC, iOS, and Android when it is released later this year. Sony Santa Monica Studios' Cory Barlog celebrated the God of War 2018 4-year anniversary, which was released today, by releasing a video message to the fans. In it, after thanking the staff, teams, and fans for the support they have gotten, he addressed the sequel, saying, "Speaking of God of War Ragnarok, the elephant in the room, we haven't said a lot about this. That's because everybody is heads down, hard at work. We are perfectionists. Everyone's tightening up the graphics on level 3. There's so much going on right now that I wish we could just share it with you, but it's just not ready to be shown. But I guarantee you, the very second that we have something we're ready to share, we're going to share it because we don't want to hold any of this back. So please hold on tight, know that something cool is coming, and that we, everybody at Santa Monica, is so incredibly thankful for all the support you have given us." Probably get news on that this summer, and that'll probably come out winter, I would expect. Unless they delay it. It's supposed to come out this year. We'll see. Pokemon Go is celebrating the season of Alola. Is that Alola or... no, it's Aloha. And the community day with a trip to Hawaii. They announced, quote, trainers were celebrating the season of... are they saying Alola or Aloha? This is the second time you've written season of Alola. Alola is a region. Oh, it's Pokemon lingo. Okay. We're celebrating the season of Alola and Stufful Community Day by rewarding one lucky winner with a trip for 2 to Hawaii. That's not all. If enough retweets are met across participating official Pokemon Go Twitter accounts, a free box will be made available to all players in the in-game shop on Stufful Community Day that is rewards based on the milestone achieved. Okay. 30,000 retweets is what they're aiming for. Strange shit stuff. Shin Megami Tensei 5 has sold 1 million units worldwide. Shipments plus downloads combined. Since launching on Switch in November 2021. It previously reached 800,000 in January when it was already the best-selling ever in the Megami Tensei series. Good job, Atlas. Congratulations. Battlefield 2042 continues its updates. Update 4.0 will be available on January 19th, so it's already out. And it does include VoIP for party and squads, change to an end of round that displays the scoreboard, and an overhaul of a ton of weapon attachments. There's a lot of balancing as well as bug fixes. You can visit ea.com/game/battlefield for more information. From one game to another dead game, Marvel's Avengers new patch is bringing Jane Foster to the Avengers. They put out a tweet that says, now that patch 2.3 is behind us, we'd like to update you on what's coming up in the near future for the game. This includes some great improvements to the event system, as well as our next playable hero, Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. Wild. Sonic Origins, a compilation that brings all of the Hedgehog's 16-bit adventures together, will be released on June 23rd on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC through Steam and Epic. Firstly, the mirror mode that can be unlocked through gameplay, so you get early access if you pre-order. The coins, too, are for use for the in-game vault. This is all pre-order stuff. Absurd. Eventually, I'm just going to spill tea all over my face. Netflix Geek Week is returning this year with its schedule on June 6th through the 10th. They retweeted it as such. We'll see what happens from that. Last year, we got a bunch of news around things like The Witcher. And I think there was also a lot of that anime that went live action that sucked, whatever that is. We got Steam top sellers last week. Steam Deck sitting at number 1. Elden Ring still holding strong at number 2. Star Wars, the Lego Skywalker Saga at 3 and 4. And Sea of Thieves coming in at number 5. Game continues to sell well. We've got some new games coming to Game Pass. Yesterday, they added F1 2021, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit Remastered, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. On April 26th, 7 Days to Die and Research and Destroy will be added. And then on the 28th, we'll have Bugsnack and Unsold. All right, couple more bits of news. I'm going to take a quick drink break. Sorry about that. All right. Back at it. This is a long one. According to a Business Insider report, Microsoft is building an advertising program to give, quote, select brands the ability to buy ads that will then appear in free-to-play Xbox games. The report claims that Microsoft wants to work with ad tech companies to create a system that will allow brands and advertisers to buy and place ads in free-to-play Xbox games. According to two people who spoke to the Insider and who are reportedly involved with the program's ongoing planning and negotiations. The ads could appear as digitally rendered billboards in a racing game or open world adventure. No details about those ads, if they will include video or audio components. A spokesperson for Microsoft told Kotaku that while it is, quote, always looking for ways to improve the experience for players and developers. Oh, that's it. That's the quote. The report also added that Microsoft is apparently very concerned about angering gamers who normally don't expect to encounter ads in console games. Microsoft will create a private marketplace to which only select brands are given access. Today, as well as this was yesterday, Business Insider reported that Sony is also cooking up plans to run ads in PlayStation games, as rival Microsoft is planning the similar program with Xbox. Well, I'm not surprised to see it. I think, haven't we kind of already seen that in one of the basketball games? Like some in-game advertising stuff? My biggest deal, as long as it doesn't like show me a fucking Ford ad as I'm playing The Witcher 4. Go check out the new 40 Mustang. It's great. And good luck in your mission to go save the princess. Like that would kind of suck. Yeah, or pause mid-boss. They did say it's only for free to play stuff. We'll see. See what happens. Here's another fun one. Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda has reiterated his desire for the Final Fantasy publisher to create, quote, play-to-earn blockchain games. In an interview with Yahoo Japan, the executive said he believed that focusing only on traditional games would, quote, not be enough, end quote, for the company going forwards, and described his vision for titles in which users would create content and be rewarded for their work. Here's some quotes. In the future, we would like to try our hand at providing autonomous game content. Until now, in most games, we provided the content as a finished product and the players played that content. However, there are a certain number of players in the world who would want to contribute to making games more interesting by creating new settings and ways of playing. In the future, we want to utilize the power of these people to create games that will continue to evolve. If, instead of relying on goodwill, we can also provide incentives to those who contribute to development by utilizing technologies such as blockchain, there's a possibility that innovative and interesting content can be created from the idea of users. Okay. All right. My biggest thing is like, whenever someone comes out and says this shit, they never explain what that means. They just say a bunch of buzzwords and they never explain what it is. And then it comes out and it's just, hey, buy an NFT. That's all it is. A lot of this just feels kind of like posturing for Web3 people, for investors. Like they're getting a shit ton of shareholders saying like, hey, where's our Web3? I'm hearing all this buzz about NFTs and Web3. How come you're not doing that? So maybe they're just answering to shareholders. I don't know. Strange. I guess we'll see. Eric Woolpaw, who's the co-writer for Portal and Portal 2, as well as Psychonauts, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2, Left 4 Dead, and Half-Life Alyx, was speaking on the Kiwi Talks podcast about his desire of Valve to start work on a third game in the Portal series. His response was, oh yeah, I'd love to. I'd work on another Portal in a second, but I can't make it happen myself. I'm not getting any younger. We're reaching the point where it's crazy to think that we're literally going to be too old to work on Portal 3. So we should just do it. He ended, we got to start Portal 3. That's my message to whoever. You can head over to videogameschronicle.com and check out the full interview there with Mr. Woolpaw. Makes a lot of sense, though. The way that people work at Valve is that enough people get behind a project, that project starts to have headway. So maybe he's just got to get people interested in talking about Portal 3 and get things moving. Twisted Metal creator and director of the original trilogy of God of War. Well, not all of it, but I guess the first one. David Jaffe claims that he has rejected an offer from Tencent to direct a game with $100 million budget because of his views on the Chinese government. Speaking on the Sacred Symbols Plus podcast, which has been, it's a paywalled podcast, You can go to videogameschronicle.com if you want the full transcription. David discussed how he felt uncomfortable dealing with the company after receiving an offer from it. He said, quote, I had a $100 million deal. I was courted by a Chinese company, and I said, no, thank you, because you're Tencent, and I want nothing to do with you. Quote, it was bad because it was Western Tencent. It was a Western guy that I respect that was calling me, and I wasn't trying to shame the guy. Hope he's got thick enough skin, and he's been an executive in the business way longer than I have. I was just like, man, I don't want to do business with a company like that, with a government like that. We'll see if that's actually true. Or maybe we never will. You know, that's Jaffe's MO. What is this? Borderlands Mad Moxie will be the latest face of Ballantine's Whiskey. What? In the press release, Ballantine said that Moxie has, quote, been appointed to the role of Chief Galactic Expansion Officer to help launch the world's second largest scotch into the gaming stratosphere. The tie-in includes the launch of a limited edition Ballantine's X Moxie's Bar bottle of whiskey, which will be available to buy at a later date. Those who purchase the bottle will get access to the exclusive, unspecified Borderlands 3 content. There's also whispers of Moxie making appearance at bars beyond her usual turf, the press release said. There's an image of the whiskey. I gotta see what this looks like. Okay, I mean, that's not terrible. Is this like a movie tie-in, maybe? Might be a movie tie-in. Not the worst. At least it's not an NFT. At least it's not an NFT. Kim Kardashian, you thought she'd never show up in a JPNN, is suing Roblox. Kim Kardashian became visibly upset after her son Saint supposedly discovered an in-game advertisement that used an image of her crying face. She said that the ad was labeled something super inappropriate, quote, like Kim's new sex tape. Kardashian was hosting a barbecue when her son came to show her some Roblox content. When Saint explained, that's not my character, that's a game, his mother responded, oh, it's a game? Then we're suing them if it's a game with my name and picture. While Kardashian called it an ad, it was more likely that her son saw the text description of an in-game experience. Look, I'm all for suing Roblox. There is some real fucked up shit that goes completely unchecked in that game. But also, you know, actually, I'm just going to leave it at that. Roblox is absolute trash in so many ways, and it just goes completely unchecked. So we'll see if that case goes anywhere. It Takes Two is getting the movie treatment, just like everything else right now. The project is now set up at Amazon for, quote, priority development. Variety reported that DJ2 Entertainment will produce the film, with 7 Bucks Productions now boarding the project along with Amazon Studios. You might recognize 7 Bucks Production as Dwayne Johnson's production company. As himself, Danny Garcia and Hiram Garcia will be producing on behalf of 7 Bucks. According to multiple sources, Dwayne could also star in the film, but nothing is official as of now. What if this shit wins an Oscar and Joseph Fares has to go up there? That'd be wild. Another video game adaptation in the film world, Streets of Rage, is also in the work. The script is being helmed by Derek Kolstad, who was involved with John Wick and Nobody. And it's being produced by DJ2 Entertainment, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Escape Artist. Equalizer is their big film. I don't know. Does like a Streets of Rage film work? Yes. And finally, as it's now the cool thing to take video games into the movie world, Jason Momoa is in final negotiations to star in a Minecraft movie, which is being produced by Warner Brothers Entertainment. The director will be Jared Hess, whose most, I guess, famous work is Napoleon Dynamite. What does a Minecraft movie even look like? Are they gonna do like a like normal, like human reality, and then he gets like sucked into the Minecraft world? I don't know. Maybe. Quick little rumor here. According to a new report posted by popular gaming analyst insider Dr. Certain Toto, who's also, the CEO of Tokyo-based game industry consultancy Kantan Games, From Software is rumored to be a merger and acquisition candidate by Sony. He went on to give a rundown of the company From Software's history, which dates back to 1986 when it started as a B2B software developer. One of its projects was a pig feeding management program. They keep talking about this From Software and Sony thing. I don't know if it would ever happen. I know it's middle of the week, but we can still talk a little bit about game releases. And that's because there are none this week. Myth Force came out in early access if you want to check that out. Little Cities, the VR game, comes out tomorrow for early access. The Legends of the Veil comes out for Sea of Thieves. We've also got Teardown, Deck of Ashes, and that's it. It's slim pickings here in April, especially towards the end of it. And it will continue to be slim pickings in terms of big releases. Overwatch 2 does come out next week, though, for the, I think, closed testing, but we will see. I'll be playing that. That's going to do it for the news. Apologies for being sick. Apologies for all the coughing and pauses. It should be all fixed by Friday, if not going into next week. Thanks so much. Feel free to drop a comment, drop a subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.